Ladies and gentlemen, um, I've been trying to figure out how I was going to do this. This day has finally come, and this is my first podcast. I There is a lot that I don't know. It's a lot that I'm trying to understand how it works and how I make it live and interesting as much as possible. Uh, this podcast is something that I had in plans for a while and something that I really wanted to do because you know I think there's a big lack of common sense going on lately, and I needed just to put my 2 cents into certain things. But basically, we're going to be talking a lot about different topics in the weeks to come. Um, and obviously, later on, we'll try to invite some people over. Hopefully, they accept. Also, we'll be able to understand a little bit better how everything is happening around us and why certain things are happening. In my personal opinion and view, it's very important that I give my 2 cents. Why? Because some people probably don't see it the way that I do. A lot of you, I bet. Um, for sure, I'll be receiving some messages and comments that most probably are going to react and answer from me. I would not stay quiet. But the reality is, and going back into the beginning of this idea of opening the podcast, um, I do have a lot that I would like to talk about and mention things that happen day to day and you know, uh, things that might be of your interest or might not. Who knows? The reality is, um, I bet they're very controversial, some of those topics. But there's some other topics that are going to be interesting. I'll be talking about guns. I love guns. Well, you can actually see that thing is full of guns. I love technology. I love cars. I love boats. I love planes. Um, is I love life. I love life. On top of everything, I love God. And that is another topic we're going to be touching today. Why? Because it's something that is being lost and something that is essential. So essential that I think it should be the core of everything we speak about. We cannot leave God aside. I'll put it this way. If you actually think about mm, somebody that is a non-believer, okay, and you are that person, and you come into some kind of a sickness or problem or something, if you are one of those that don't believe in God, uh, you're lost. You're lost, and you'll be very lost. As a matter of fact, you'll be so lost that there will be no turning around. And you most probably are going to just let go of yourself and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And that's it. But I don't think that will be the case. I think that if you don't believe in God, and that life, as a matter of fact, as crazy as it sounds, God puts you in that test. And you eventually have to face a life or death situation, trust me, you're going to be believing in God. You're going to be believing in that supreme person on top of us, looking over us, taking care of us, and you're going to be asking for favors. You will, how the singer says. But it's just part of life. It's a beautiful things that we want to see. It's a beautiful things that we live day in, day out. Obviously, life is not perfect, but those are all the tests that we have to go through. And going back into the beginning of the podcast and when I started talking about that this has been overdue, is because I've been dealing with another big problem with a big corporation. It's basically David against Goliath, but put it in biblical terms. But the reality is, I am not one to back down, especially when things are being done so wrong to me. I am very black and white. There is no gray areas in me. I'm very straightforward, and Also, my personality, for some of you that know me, will know that I'm given to others. And if there is anything that I can do to help anybody, I will. No questions asked. Is if it's in my hands, I will do it. And if it's not in my hands, I'll still give it a try. But if there is something that I can do, it's just me. And I take people very seriously. I take full responsibility on seeing people around me in case they need something and acting upon that. And when I see certain, how can I say this, certain unfairness happening and some other things that are pretty to talk about. But I am not going to talk about that specific problem today. It will come. It will come in the future. I will explain in details what is going on. And you guys will be up to date for those that would like to be interested into what is going on or not. And, for those that don't care, doesn't matter. We'll talk about other things as well. I think it's important that now that we understand the importance of having God in our side, which is very important, we move on to the next very important topic, which nowadays I think is politics. Politics, because this is something that is really and truly affecting my core. It's something that I'm trying to understand everything that is going on. How can I put this? Look, we see illegal immigration coming into the country. And obviously, you have noticed by now by my little accent that I am not from here. I have lived in other countries. I have experienced many other things, governments, good things and bad things. Some other places. Some places that are extremely beautiful because God created like that. But people not so much. So is just part of the whole process, I guess. It's part of life. But I can tell you that it's very unfortunate what is happening in this country, my country. It's essential to realize that if we don't put a stop and end to this craziness happening here, we're going to become those countries. We're going to become those countries that they're actually living from. The countries, and don't go too far. Look at the states. People live in other states to come to more open, business friendly, people friendly states and laws friendly states for businesses. They come here with that mentality and they change everything from the same thing they left. And that's exactly what is happening with the people coming from other countries. Not all. Most of them are coming here with a hope that things are going to be different. They're going to be working for something better. Now, the problem comes as if you're going to do something like that, you should be doing it in a way of being legal. It's essential to be legal. As a matter of fact, we did it that way. My parents did it that way. Um, we were able to move into a country legally, and a long story that eventually, hopefully, you guys will hear about was mainly thanks to my grandfather. But besides that, my family members, a couple of my family members, did not have the luxury of being able to use what my grandfather did for us, so we needed to do it the legal way. Being that said, it is important. Immigration is important. Of course, it's important. But let's put it this way. I mean, I don't think most of us will go pick up tomatoes every day in, day out. Because, we put in a balance and we say, okay, the return that it's going to take for the effort, we're probably going to be able to do something else if we have legal papers to do so, all right? Listen, once again, this is black and white. There is no gray areas here. And that's exactly why we need the immigration. That immigration that comes into the country in a legal way. And this is something I would like to propose. Something, some kind of a law that no amnesty, I would say like a working visa. They come here to work in agriculture. And because once again, I don't think most of you American citizens, United States citizens, including myself, will go and pick up tomatoes all day for what they pay. So normally, we will get people coming from other countries. Countries are actually in need to, to pay better the people they can't because the government is stealing the money, for example. But which is another topic we're going to talk about. But you have them coming over here, and look, it's all about math. It's all about math. If you see it into how much are they making, well, let's say they make minimum salary, let's round it to $10. Let's say $10 minimum salary per hour. You calculate that is 10 hours per day, say 40 hours a week is going to be $400. You multiply that by 4, you're going to be at $1,800 more or less. All right, 1260. No, I'm sorry, $1,600 more or less. So you get that $1,600, and you say, okay, well, allow them to have a Social Security so they can pay their due taxes, which is not going to be much, obviously, but they're going to be paying some taxes based on the little bracket that they fit on. And most probably going to get that money. They tend to live together in one place to save the most amount of money and use the rest to be sent to their countries in order to continue to grow over there by land, by animals, do the whole agriculture that they like to do, and something that is feasible in their countries because it's cheaper than here, and allow them to have a better future while helping us. It goes hand to hand. Now, being that said, I think that once they get that working visa and they are working in this country, they are paying the fair share of taxes, they're doing legally, they are allowed to have a driving license. And why? Because if they don't have a driver license, they're not going to be able to get a vehicle to transport themselves into this very big, vast size of a country that we have. The distances are never short, so they need to be able to transport themselves from one place to another, and then be able to have the insurance that they need in order to get, in case they need to, they get into an accident or whatever it is, for them to be able to do it once again legally, to own a vehicle and have their insurance, not only to protect themselves but also to protect others in which they can come to an accident with, because accident happens in life. Am I right? So that will be something that is essential. But then there's one more thing, which is if they come here to work as in agriculture, we don't want to put that working visa, working permit attached to one specific company, because if we do that, we're going to be facing into some problems. There is going to be abuse of employers. Look, I'm an employer. I know. I've been an employer many, many times. I know very well how the world runs. And you try to be as fair as possible, but they probably don't see it that way. But not everybody is me. So at the end of the day, they need to be covered as well. They need to make sure that they're not attached to one specific company. If they have some kind of a problem, they can obviously leave that company. They will have 15, 30 days to find a new employer and be able to change a working permit to another employer and continue to work legally. I'm not saying that this is going to open up a path for citizenship or residency or nothing. Look, at the end of the day, once again, this black and white situation that we're talking about, we are helping them by allowing them to do something they can't do in their countries. They're making $100 in the best case scenario, $300 a month. That's how much they're making, and they're working their asses off in there. And they come over here, they have the ability to make a substantial amount of money compared to what they can make over there, save a substantial amount of money, send it over there, and start building a life for retirement in a comfortable way that they would never be able to afford by living in their countries. And doing something they know how to do. So I think this is essential. And they're helping us at the same time by doing the agriculture part that most of us are not going to do it, and keeping it as as the lowest cost possible. Even though with all the things happening in the last couple of years, the way that the money is distributed in this country is not really helping us. But hopefully all that will change. That will be some other topic for another day. But for now, I just wanted to talk about that part of immigration. And Why did I want to talk to about immigration? Because it's important. And I don't know if you have seen it, my accent, and here in my accent is very, very unique and strong. So, unfortunately, and I'll say unfortunately, because I love this country. Once again, this is my country. I would love to be born here, but my roots are my roots, and it's something I can't hide. Am I right? And I'm proud of them too. It's just part of the process. It's part of life. This is what God gave me and gave most of us. This is a country where everybody likes to say a country of immigrants. If we go to that point, I think every country is a country of immigrants. But yes, we're all human. And we all need to figure it out a way. But legally, it's essential to say legally. So that brings us back to the common sense, a non-existing common sense nowadays. It's such a word that I think has been erased from the dictionaries and encyclopedias and everything you can imagine or be written at or even Google is gone out the window. And it's sad, it's worrisome because the common sense that kept us as a unique country is uh, is gone. It's gone, and we need to rebuild. We need to rebuild. We need to grab the tools and reconstruct this country again and bring it up. We have to. There is no other way around it. Unfortunately, there is a lot of things happening nowadays that is creating a lot of division. Um, and I'll go straight into that. I think is the politics. The politics in this country are so messed up. And you know, I'm going to start talking about Democrats. Democrats have their stuff together. They really do. They really do. They they come up with these craziest ideas and crazy things, and they all back each other up to accomplish it. Um, Pretty random, and those ideas, most of them are auto-destructive. And and you say, well, hold on. Remember, we just spoke about common sense. Do you guys have any? But you know what? It doesn't matter if they do or not. They will all gather together. They will all get together in the same page and move on with it. Something lacking on the Republican Party. And something that is being shown nowadays, look, maybe highly going into the elections and continuing to be there, even though I'm sorry, the facts are there, am I right? She keeps losing and loss after loss after loss after loss, but she's still being there. And what she's doing at this point, in my personal opinion, is she's just creating this hole and making sure that she can, bring everything out of this hole and separate as much as possible because of that auto-destructive thing that the Republicans have. Um, no, we have Romney. Romney, I mean, if you can consider that person being a Republican, come on. He comes up and says, if Trump wins the primaries, he goes to the election. I will vote for Biden because I will not vote for him. Look, once again, I mean, doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you think. If that's your party and that's the way your team is supposed to act, you're supposed to get together behind your team, not in something that it has proven that it doesn't work. And you're continually, trying to thread and say that, hey, this person wins, forget it, I'll throw the. I mean, what point are you making? You're trying to say that, okay, we'll continue to mess up this country, this person wins. I mean, it's all because of personal problem. Personal problems should be out the window. It should be the facts. Should be exactly what is going on. What is being happening to us. What is affecting our pockets. What is affecting our day-to-day. What is affecting our livelihoods. What is affecting our safety. Safety. Look at these open borders, what have brought to us. I mean, if you go out to the streets and you're comfortable and you're happy, if you're in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, if you go out in the streets and you feel safe and you feel happy, and I mean, I'm missing something pretty big here. But if not, I think we need to change. We need to change it, and then it applies to everybody has what they vote for, and it's interesting. It's very interesting because yes, it's true, 100%. I mean, you get for what you vote for. And that's exactly what you're seeing in New York. That's exactly what you're seeing in Chicago. That's exactly what you're seeing in some other places. That's what you get because that's what you elected. I'm looking at AOC or OAC, whatever the name is, Ocasio. And I wonder how did she get elected? Um, I wonder all these people being affected now with mayor of New York trying to pay people thousands of dollars that actually comes up together to be hundreds of millions of dollars to everybody because they're illegal immigrants and they need help. It makes me think and try to analyze how can you back that up and continue to be elected when your people are on the streets, when you have so many homeless, when you have people that actually need stuff that were born here. This is their country, and you're still taking others as a priority. Like how, and you're still going with it. It's not like we messed up. Let's figure this out. Let's manage it around. Let's fix it. No, no, no. Let's head on into this. Let's continue on. I mean, if you don't have a backup plan that I don't know about, I still don't know how you're getting elected. I don't. I mean, it blows my mind. But I would like to say that we're going back in history. And why do I like to say that we're going back into history? Well, because how they like to mention is history repeats itself. So I would like to see myself that I'm back in the 70s, in which everybody was full of drugs and happiness and peace and love, and so high that they don't even remember. But then it clicked, and they understood and needed Reagan to come back into something, and somebody like him to take control and guide this country back into this very wrong road that we were heading into head on. And they just needed to reshape that road back into success. And we did, and Reagan was able to do so. And I think we're at that point. I would like to believe that we're at that point. We're at that point in which we say, hey, you know what? We need a 160-degree turn, and we need to make sure that we bring it into the best that we can and change this, and our future generation will be the one that will take us out of this hole and bring us to something best. And I would like to believe that. I would like to believe that my kids are going to be those kids that grow up to make a change in this country for the best and bring back America to what it used to be. With the help of the future, hopefully, government is starting this trend. But we'll see. I mean, government is very interesting. Very interesting. And at the end of the day, I will tell you something. This personal problem that I mentioned at the beginning of the show or the podcast, the problem that I was mentioning that I have with this big corporation, the only entity, the only person and people that took this and took it seriously, I would say, and is backing me up is the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity. And I am very thankful that they were able to see the bigger picture. They were able to see and understand what is happening. And they're the government. They're part of the branch of the government. A branch, at least a department of the government. And they're doing their job. They're doing their job. I don't know what's going to be the result. We'll see. But I'm very thankful. I am very thankful. So look, we don't have all bad from the government. We don't, and they're living proof that there's certain things that still works up to now. So we can only hope it continues to change for the best. We only hope that we can expect something better, and that's what I am. That's exactly what I am expecting from my kids. That's what we're working on. That's what I would like to see. I don't have any slogan yet for the podcast, but I'll try to come up with something interesting for this week. A logo, the same thing. I try to make this every Sunday thing, so you guys can hear a little bit of my craziness and my opinion, and then go into different topics and very deep and possibly topics that, hey, once again, you're going to agree with me or look, at the end of the day, let's be realistic. You're going to love me or you're going to hate me. I don't think there's going to be a place in there where you say, he's all right. Nah, not really. I don't think so. Once again, the black and white, that line is very defined in the middle. So you're either going to be here, you're going to be there. It's not going to be like, kind of like the guy. But is it's just like everything. Okay, we should learn that. We should learn not to be in the gray areas. We should learn not to say, "Well, let's see if this might work," and because that's what brings us down. That's exactly what brought us down into the path that we hope, and I hope that we can make a turn soon. That inspires me to remind you that the best way is to come up with your own conclusions. Okay? The best way to come to a conclusion is by reading, hearing, analyzing everything. I'm not telling you to go watch Fox News all day. I'm not telling you to go see CNN all day or MSNBC or any of those. No, at all. But you should be able every morning while we spend some time possibly in the toilet. Remember, that's where good ideas come from. And spend some time to read every single news source. Understand, even Al Jazeera, why not? BBC, all of those. So read them, understand what is going on. That will open up your eyes into what is right and what is wrong, most probably. Now, if you are considering that you're going to watch only CNN, CBS, NBC, CNS, NBC, blah, 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 ABC, DNG, whatever, most probably those are going to be the same line. So try to pitch in some other ideologies in there too, so you understand really and truly what is the right and what is the left, and what everybody wants to accomplish, and make your own conclusions. Understand what is going on. Understand that not because this person says that this is red, and this person says that this is blue, you are going to say, well, you know what, I'm going to go with a blue because that's what most of the people say. No, I mean, if you see a red, understand that not necessarily is blue. But the problem about seeing only blue is that you eventually will believe it's blue, even though it's dark green. So that's life, and that's exactly how the media is working. Most of the media is designed to brainwash people and make them believe certain things. And it's on us if we want to fall for it or not. It's nobody else. They're going to give it a try, of course. I don't blame for trying. That's what they make a living out of it. So it's up to us if we want to continue that path, if we want to believe that, or we want to open up our eyes by looking at other things. And not because they continue to tell us it's blue, 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 it's blue. No, it could be green, it could be red, it could be any other color, guys. So I think it's very important. Look, the media manipulation have brought us to all these deep problems in school and abortion, pronouns, and the government deciding over our kids. I mean, we went from the government trying to help us as a civilization to parenting. There's a big difference, just at schools. If we send our kids to school, it's for them to learn, not to parent our kids. Now, if we send our kids to a school that share our principles, that share our beliefs, it's very helpful, let me tell you. Because if you don't, then you send it to a place in which they're going to be guided into certain direction. Once again, this is green, 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 green. Even though it's not green, obviously, is possibly even purple. But they're telling you it's green, 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 putting in their heads 8 hours, 10 hours a day if they do after school stuff. 10 hours a day. I mean, they come home, they spend a couple hours with you, and then they go to sleep. Who's doing the job? Who's doing the parenting? Who's teaching them their value? They are, not us. Not us as parents. We only have a couple hours to try to fix all the damage that all the 10 hours were caused in their little brains. That are very manipulable. They are, and they can be guided into certain ways that we don't want them to. But once we notice, it's too late. It's too late. And that is a huge issue. That's a huge issue because, look, that's exactly why you see the numbers of people sending their kids to school in less and less and less and less and less. Because you know what? At the end of the day, people are understanding. They're putting everything in a balance and saying, hold on, if I'm going to send my kid to school to be taught something completely different of what I believe in, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. And sometimes, unfortunately, they can afford the kind of school where they're going to be taught their own principles, as the one that we're trying to teach them at home. And that is a problem because, once again, we have changed from teaching to parenting. And that's a big no-no. That's getting out of the hands of what the teacher are supposed to be doing. So look, it's tough. It's tough. And going back into the beginning of the podcast, when I was talking about God, look, I always believe in God. I always believe. I've been in a lot of situations in which I better believe in God to get out of it. At least with my head in a good place. But I moved recently from one state to another, and when I came up here, I understood the value, I think a little bit deeper, of being in contact more and more with God. And that had opened up a lot of doors. That had opened up a lot of things in my head, in my family. That obviously, we have all the problems. I mean, nothing is perfect in life, unfortunately. And this hasn't been easy. But we'll go through that. We'll go through that. And hopefully, we'll come afloat in the hands of God in the right place in the right way. But that is something that I appreciate lately is the values that I want to teach my kids. I've been teaching my kids, and that is being backed up by the school they're in, by the community they surround themselves in. Is beautiful. It is beautiful. And it is something that I would love to see more often. And it is something that I really hope everybody has a chance to live and to be able to distress a little bit on what are some of the people doing to our kids. What is the social media doing to our kids? What is some schools doing to our kids? The peer pressure they're under is insane. I mean, it comes down to safety. It comes down to safety. Like, don't go too far. Look on the news. You have men competing in women's sports, and it's not a sport or something that is designed to be co-ed. It's not a league that is designed to be co-ed. Actually, as fun as it sounds, I played kickball for many years in a co-ed league, and man, those were fun times, very fun times, and there was some girls that were really amazing. Like I wish I could kick like them and run like them. Um, but is it was designed that way. It was purposely designed that way. Now, when you have sports, you're supposed to be, in different sex, and you put co-ed, then when accident happens, and that is something that we need to understand before it takes more and more and more lives. And, we need to prevent that. We need to make sure to say, okay, hold on, time out. How can we change this? And that brings up to possibly the next subject, which is gun laws. Look, I don't know if you have seen the trend of most of those illegal immigrants coming in and killing people left and right, in different states. When they are illegal immigrants, it means that they are here illegally, meaning they cannot own a gun legally, a weapon legally. I mean, up to that point, I think we all on the same page. Am I right? So, if that person cannot have a gun legally, How come they are committing those acts and killing people with weapons they're not supposed to have? Well, it comes back to the common sense part. They are not following the law. They are not law-abiding citizens because, first of all, they're not even citizens. But anyways, they're not law-abiding immigrants. So we need to understand something. The laws that we put on weapons is just going to be applied to people like me, who law-abiding citizens. And that is, I think, unfortunately, purposely designed to attack our right to bear arms and to defend ourselves. Because bear arms is extremely important in the way that it was designed in our Constitution. But most importantly, the right that we have to defend ourselves and our family and others. And others. I mean, it just doesn't stop with us. It stops with others. It's a civil duty that we should all have inside. That we see across the street and we see somebody being attacked and we can save their lives. We do something about it. We step up to the plate and we do something about it to prevent that person from getting harmed, that innocent person from getting harmed. But unfortunately, this is being manipulated like everything else. And it's completely going against us law-abiding citizens. It sucks. It really sucks. It sucks because it comes a day that we have to face those people and we won't have the tools. But they will, and they will gladly use it. Look, every time you see all those attacks and mass shootings and this and that, what happens? They happen mostly in places where they cannot, law-abiding citizens cannot carry weapons. And that sucks once again. That sucks because it comes down to the core of being able to protect yourself, being able to protect others. Like it should be our civil duty. We shouldn't be running away from problems. We should be trying to fix them. And that means we should step up to the plate if it's necessary. But for that, we need tools. And, obviously the training and everything that comes with it. But no, let's take it away from us. Let's leave it to them because it's still happening. It's not like, hey, you have it gone illegally, come bring it over here and we'll take it from you and, be a good person. No, nobody's going to surrender their tools. And I'll say their tools because they're using those weapons that are illegal weapons in their hands to commit crime, to do a living out of that. So nobody's going to turn in their tools. Nobody will to turn in the tools that they're using illegally. And that is proven. I mean, we can try to say, well, we do a gun back program. And the buyback program, the buyback gun program is designed to supposedly get the guns and send it over to another country that needs it in war. Which is our next topic. But no, I don't think they can make it. Or let's be realistic. I mean, how are we gonna go and we're looking at all those guns turned in those buyback programs that are, let's say, door barrel shotguns or one single shotgun, shot shell, whatever shotgun, or I don't know, super assault weapon knife. I don't know. I mean, coming up with crazy ideas and trying to see from those 100 clip, 200 rounds, 2 clips, three pew pews, weapons. As much of these people that don't know about weapons describe on media. What do they going to do with it? They're not going to use it for war. They're not going to use it to defend anything. So no, I don't think it's going to be used for that. But hey, look, if they want to return it and they want to get a laptop or gift card in exchange, more power to them. No problem, no money. But the problem that I have is that those laws will affect and are affecting in certain places people like me, people that are not scared to respond to a problem, that are not scared to step in and do something about somebody else that is about to be harmed or was harmed. Is just who I am. And it brings up the next subject, the point that I was going to talk about, which is the war overseas and what our country does for everybody. but nobody does for us. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. When was the last time we or you have seen a place in which, oh, look, these people came from Mars? I won't even use any country not to offend anybody because it's easy to offend people. But let's put it this way: these people came from Mars, and they came from Mars to make this awesome living facility for your veterans that have given so much their lives basically, and they need help. So we're here to help them, and this is the building, that we would like to donate with all these amenities and everything that they deserve, because us people from Mars are really nice. I mean, I'm sorry, when was the last time we saw that in this country? Yet we see us sending billions and billions of dollars overseas to other countries. Nobody even knows where the money goes to. Is basically putting our kids and ourselves in debt just to send them money, and do whatever they want to do. And nobody even knows what the money is. I mean, what are we doing? When people on the streets, oh no, but wait, let's leave it to the people here. Yes, illegal immigrants are coming in. Once again, what about those veterans, homeless people on the streets, guys? I mean, am I missing something here? I see them in the city that I'm in. It's full of homeless people. And then you have New York, and I mean, I can go on and on. Not even mention San Francisco. So we need that money in house. We need that money here to help them succeed, to help them live. I mean, yes, I understand. Sometimes, they say, oh, no, they like their ways. I don't. Okay, but you can come up with some kind of an agreement with them. You can come up with something, okay, look, what will make it more attractive to you? If I do it this way, I do it that way. Come up with something. Be able to provide them food. Look, most of these people went to war for us. Most of these people fought for us. And they have done so much for us. And yet we don't care. Like, come on, what are we doing? But let's send billions of dollars overseas. Where is the money? Who's having the money? Who's controlling the money? I mean, it's an open checkbook. Already every single check has been signed. Um, it's a very, very dangerous path to take. And I don't think it's fair to us. I don't think it's fair at all. If we have to help other countries or we need to do something, look, my grandfather was a perfect example of that. Yes, I'm down if we have to do it for the well being of civilization. But, I mean, to do something for someone else that we don't even know, or because they have a lot of corruption in their countries and they do whatever they want, and who knows what's the final intent on that money going over to whatever it is going. I mean, come on. Let's be realistic. It's fishy. It's fishy. And we shouldn't be allowing that. We shouldn't. We should have a little more common sense than that. We have bigger problems. We have bigger fish to fry here. Look, I wouldn't like to believe that I am one of those that they say, oh, you believe too much in conspiracy theories. No, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. And I'll tell you why I don't believe in conspiracy theories. Because I read a lot. Because I am very informed. Because I read about everything. I read about things that I like, things that I believe in, and I read a lot about things that I don't believe in and I don't even trust whatsoever. But I read about it too because in order for you to be ready for your enemy, you need to know your enemy. You don't ignore your enemy. So you need to learn about your enemy. And it will teach you a lot. And that's exactly why I am not somebody to believe in conspiracy theories. I believe in facts. And that brings a big problem here, which is look, a lot of people are saying, oh, I think it's happen in this country, something's going to happen any moment. Comes back to common sense, guys, that we're talking about. I mean, we had an open board for the last 3 years, in which 7 million people, like I'm sorry, 7 million people that we know of have come into the country. I call that invasion. I don't know about you. I call that invasion. But anyway, 7 million people have come into the country. I do not believe everybody is a saint. I do not believe everybody that came into work only. No. As a matter of fact, the crime levels can show that, unfortunately, a lot of these people came to continue what they were doing in their own countries. But you also have good people. And once again, go back to what we were talking about. Allow them, give them a work visa designed for a specific thing that most of the people are not going to do, and most of the citizens are not going to do. Allow them to do it, allow them to grow, and then move on. That is the best thing that we can do. Non allow everybody into this country, give them everything for free when we have necessity of our own people. Okay, and yes, you get for what you vote for. Please understand what is going on around you. Look around before you go vote again, please. I mean, take consideration the rest of the people like us. Like, if you don't want to care about you, that's cool, but care about us. I mean, look at us and do something for us. And look at our kids. Look at your kids. You don't care about you, that's cool once again, but look at your kids. Care about your kids. So, listen, we need to turn this. We need to turn this around. 180 degrees turn. We need to figure it out exactly what is going on in Congress. We need to figure it out exactly what is going on everywhere. I mean, we cannot have people that are older than dinosaurs continue to serve for us. And that has been there since they were little dinosaurs. Like, come on. What is going on with us? I understand that's a career, but in order to get there, you had to be some other kind of politician, or you can just come out of there, out of the nowhere, out of the bar, and once again, I don't know how you got there. But okay, you got there, and what are you going to do next? You have 8, put it up to 12 years. 12 years. In 12 years, you should have really made a change for the best. And if you haven't, next. That's the way it should work. And if you did, congratulations. Next. It should be that way. That is the way it should be. Politics should be controlled that way. So nobody has unlimited power to do whatever they want for however they want. And they refresh constantly. People, young people, or not even the people that are there that can see exactly what the areas need, and they're there in order to work for their people, for the constituents. They need to do it for them and do it right. And if not, consequences. Consequences. Like, for example, I'm going to go back to the Republicans. Look, they don't do anything together. They don't. And very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And they should. They should come up together like Democrats do to work into fixing things, making things right. And not just because it doesn't go my way, I'm going to go vote for the other party. And that's my punishment. Meaning you're punishing. You should, technically. You should be punishing yourself. You should be primary out the next election. Out the door, out the window. You're gone. Next. That's the way it should be. People should notice those things. If you're not working for us and you're not doing the right things for us, the next person should come in. That's the way it should work. Look, I don't even know if I'm going to be a politician in the future or not. I don't know. Obviously, I like to talk. You gotta notice that by now. But things need to be fixed. And if you can't be that solution, you need to be removed. You need to be primaried out immediately. No questions asked. So we need to really work on that. The party needs to get together. The party really, truly needs to get together. Back each other up. Move forward the right way. Grow the right way. Help the people the right way. If we continue the path that we're in, there's not much left, guys. I mean, let's be realistic. Our road is ending right there. I can see the cliff. Come on. Everybody, pull the brakes, turn around. We need to go back. So we need to do something about it, guys. We need to do something about it. This country has a lot to offer. Everybody has a lot to offer. But we just need to channel it the right way. We need the right people to guide us. And hopefully that starts now in November. But, you know, it's really hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah, that's just the way it works. And some dogs are just designed to bite anything they see, obviously. Like, look at our president's dog, bites anything he sees. But all kidding aside, we need to fix this country. We do. And I think up to now you have noticed that I am once again very black and white. And age, age should be taken in consideration. It should. Guys, look, we go vote 18 years old, and we're supposed to know what we vote for. Come on, 18 years old, I don't know much of life. If I was really responsible, I was doing really good in school, really good in sports, and I would be concentrating trying to grow in sports and in school as much as I could to have a good career and offer a better future for my parents and my kids, and my beautiful wife for the future. That is, if I had a good head on my shoulders at 18, but that's not the norm. That doesn't really happen at 18. Am I right? At 18, you're just messing around and partying and who knows what, if you can remember. So, is just us, it's humans. So at 18, to have the responsibility to vote for what is going to change your future and the rest of the population, the citizens of this country's future, is unfair. Because if you don't know what you're doing, what makes you believe that you're going to know what is best for somebody that is actually working hard into their lives? That comes later. That comes at 20 something, 30 years old. Now life has hit you in the face. And you have to work to live. You have to work your butt off to buy food. And you really and truly appreciate God more than ever at that age, more or less. And now you're ready to vote. Now you're going to vote for the right thing. But unfortunately, you do have a lot of 18 years olds that are going to be voting for what they think is right because that's what they saw on TikTok. That's what they saw on all those medias that have been trying to get to you. And that's not right. Look, I'll put it that one other example. If you can have a gun until you're 21, a pistol, why would you have the right to vote? I mean, it's crazy, am I right? If you put it that way, and you are one of those that believe that we should have gun control, and it should be at least 21. It should be at least 21 to vote too, and that's the way it should be. And if you're allowed to vote at 18, everybody should be allowed to do whatever they want at 18. Why one way and not the other? But look, there's a lot of people that I've heard, Democrats in the Senate, trying to say, "Hey, why don't we allow them to vote at 16?" What happens if I'm the one that steps on there and say, "Hey, why don't we allow them to have a pistol at 16?" They'll consider me crazy, am I right? Because that's the way the media works. But hey, let's allow them to vote. Even better, the illegal immigrants, allow them to vote. They just got to this country. They don't know what's good, what's bad. What are they going to vote for? For the guy that is going to give the food stamps. For the guy that is going to give the money. For the things that they came to this country because they said, hey, there's American future. The American dream is something that doesn't work that way. You gotta work for your American dream. The American future that you're looking for is not that we're gonna give you everything for free. You have to work for it. You have to push for it. And that's when you see the results of your work. Once again, you stay in your countries and you will never, based on minimum salary, be able to afford a new car. Never, because I live down there, because I know how it works, because I'm talking out of experience. I didn't live until listen, this is not my parents' basement. So I know very well what is exactly that is necessary in order to obtain certain things, which is work. But the American dream is here to help you afford a new car every 3 years, even if you make minimum salary. That's it. And the minimum salary in our countries down south, you're going to need, I don't know how many years to buy the engine of the car. Don't even mention the rest of the parts. And then when you need to change tires, good luck. So there is so much for us to learn. And the only way that we are going to learn is by opening our eyes, seeing farther ahead what is around us. What do we want? And if we want something, we need to work hard for it. If we want to change, we need to vote for change. That's the way it works. I think I have done a lot of talking today. I'm thirsty. And I would like to say that if you lasted all the way to here, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Um, I hope that we continue to grow this community. I hope that I'm able to pass on more of my experiences and thoughts and beliefs onto you. Um, I'll be looking into the comments to the future. I will try to do this a weekly thing every Sunday for now. Work hard into trying to understand how all this podcast world works and bring along more people, interviews and things. Who knows who's going to be in the future? They say, hey, you know what? You should leave your best uh, people that you're going to invite first, and you should put them. Guys, I really don't know anybody interesting. So, I don't know. If I meet someone, I'll bring it on. For now, I can tell you that I do have a list of people in my head, friends of mine, really awesome people, like my brothers, that hopefully they accept to jump aboard and give us 2 cents of their lives and what they want to do. All oriented to try to make light of a better world. Some things, once again, are going to be interesting. Some comedy here and there, I hope, and make me laugh because all this crap going on, we need to laugh, sometimes. That'll be great. If not, hopefully some very interesting things that I have planned. But for now, this is what I got. For now, all I can say is God bless us all. We need it. I am over out.